Hey, it's Norm from Testing. I'm here at the RPF Showcase. It's a gathering of prop makers, replica prop makers from the Replica Prop Forum. This is Ryan Nagata, who, like Adam Savage, has an obsession with spacesuits.
Yeah.
Ryan, how you doing?
I'm good.
Now,
good. Thanks, Norm.
I walked into the warehouse here, and I saw the Mercury outfit. I'm like, oh, I've seen something like that before in the cave. And this is your spin on the Mercury spacesuit.
Yeah.
Tell me about, how did you start with this? Because I know Adam has this Mercury spacesuit. He worked with a costumer to get the right fabrics, to do all the stitching. Where did you begin?
Well, I've been obsessed with spacesuits for a long time, and I think I heard for the first time that Adam was working on a Mercury spacesuit on your video. And I contacted him, like asking who he was getting it done with, and we started talking, and we ended up collaborating a little bit on stuff. Like I made the name tag on Adam's suit because I had a silk screen for it, and I just put his name on there too. And Adam's suit is kind of an amalgam of different Mercury suits because
there were a lot of different.
Yeah, there were especially like Gordon Cooper's, the last one. It's very different looking. My suit is pretty much exclusively Alan Shepard's suit, and the big difference is that it had these zipper closures, which were from the Navy Mark IV suit. And the later ones, which is what Adam duplicated, are the ones with those quick release rings. And there's a couple other subtle differences, like there was a little valve that went in here. I'm not exactly sure what it was for on the later suits, but Shepard's didn't have that.
The gloves are a little different.
Oh yeah, the gloves are different. It doesn't have that battery pack with the flashlight on it yet. And Adam's neck ring is different because I think he used a real like MIG neck ring. It's like a functioning piece of hardware.
Yes.
And this is more of a replica of what the real one looked like, which was like a Navy Mark IV ring, but it's not real hardware. It's just resin, and I scratch built that myself. So it looks more accurate. It's not as robust as using a real piece of hardware, though. So I kind of have to be careful with it.
I understand this is something that you constructed yourself. It's all hand sewn.
Oh yeah.
So what material is this? Because it feels a little different than Adam's suit.
Well, the real one was an aluminized nylon material, which was pretty tough and not that comfortable for like a costume. So I think Adam's suit uses like a PVC leather, which I can't get that to run through the sewing machine.
Yeah.
So I used, this is like a foil spandex type material, which is kind of thin. So I backed it with like an interfacing, so it's a little bit heavier weight, but it's easier for me to work with.
So you got the material. There's so much hardware here, straps.
The actual Mercury suit used a lot of military hardware because it was kind of just an adapted Navy suit, and the buckles on it, I looked everywhere for them, and eventually found the correct buckles without this little metal bracket. I'm not exactly sure what that was for, but the real ones had it, so I just added that in. But,
so it looks like it's a combination of some real hardware, which you have to do the research for, and also some custom fabricated stuff like your neck ring or modified hardware to get it exactly right.
Yeah. And the patch actually is really hard to find. Like all the NASA patches you get today, like at the gift shops, have like blue borders, but the white border is like the NASA one from the time, and so I ended up finding a shop in the UK that made those. So yeah, a lot of research.
It is a beautiful, beautiful spacesuit and a great helmet.
You.
And then next to it, you have you told me a more recent project, something you just finished, an Apollo suit.
Yeah, I just finished this yesterday actually for the show.
Now this is really funny because the Apollo suit for Adam was one of the first ones he built.
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago, and this is something you just finished.
Yeah.
So this looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is, I probably wanted the Apollo suit when I was 14 years old. I made the first one like that I ever did back in '95 when Apollo 13 came out. And I've wanted a more accurate one ever since then. And so this is just like years of research, really, but maybe like 6 months of work. And it's completely custom made. Like there's all of these connectors and the entire pattern for it, and the helmet, everything I had to do myself. So.
How did you make the helmet?
Well, this is actually, it's vacuum formed, but it was done in like a reverse mold. And everybody that's looked at it has said, wow, that's a really deep pull, which it is. But I was able to do it in PETG, which is a much softer plastic than polycarbonate, which is what the real helmets were. Like I didn't have a vacuum that was strong enough to pull polycarbonate, but PETG, which is what they make like blister packs and that sort of thing out of, you can touch it.
And you can just vacuum form that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
nice and lightweight.
Yeah, it's lightweight too. I actually bought a helmet that was made out of polycarbonate and it was really heavy. And because my suit, it's not like built like the real suit, it's built to be much lighter weight for a costume. Like if I put the heavy helmet on and if I used actual metal fittings, it would just kind of pull the whole thing down. So everything had to be made kind of lightweight.
And so you said it was about 6 months of actual building and a lot of research. What's the distribution? 90% research and then 10% building?
Yeah, probably. Although patterning out takes a lot of time. If I made another one of these, I could probably do it a lot faster. But it's just, I wanted to make it so I could repeat the process. So I would make a pattern, and I made molds for all of these things. I got a lot of these rings, like cut, laser cut and acrylic and stuff. And now I'd probably be able to do it because I have all the molds and the patterns. But yeah, that's what takes up a lot of time.
Is that something you're offering any of these pieces as runs on the RPF? People are interested in building their own?
I'm actually, quite a few people have contacted me based on, I posted some of the stuff on the RPF. I just got contacted by a science museum in Japan this morning about purchasing an Apollo spacesuit replica. Yeah, so I do have the patterns for it, and I would like to make a couple of them just to send to museums and that kind of thing. Awesome. I think that'd be cool, but it was mostly because I wanted to have an Apollo suit that I could wear as a costume or something.
Well, you have a ton of cool projects here. You're obviously incredibly talented as a fabricator. If people want to get their own components to start building an Apollo suit, you can definitely reach out to you. You have a website where people can check out your work?
Oh yeah, you can go to ryannagata.com. Yeah, I've got, I'm a director as well, so I've got all my art and films and everything there. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing these spacesuits to the RPF Showcase.
You're welcome.
It's great to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you too.
Thank you.